What's up, guys? We're back. Sorry for missing our last upload. We Things have been insane here ever since the announcement of the international unit, the international battalion in Azov. A lot of work's gone into this unit, this battalion, and it went live a few days ago, and it's just been insanely busy. A lot of people want to be a part of it, so that's really cool. So apologize for missing yesterday's video. We're back to our regularly scheduled programming. I am going to be still contacting and talking with a lot of you guys in regards to the Azov International Battalion, so just continue to shoot me emails. Also, I'll leave the link to the Azov application in the description as well. You can click that directly. It'll take you to a Telegram link, and there's a AI chatbot that'll walk you through the application. Very simple. And in the bottom of this application, in the comments, put my name in there, put Vegas in there, so we kind of have an idea of how to reference and categorize different applicants, right? People who kind of know what's going on, people who have no idea what's going on, and so on and so forth. So with that said, my name is Saxon. I go by Vegas here in Ukraine. I joined the International Legion in January of 2023. I was in 1st Battalion. I ended up leaving the Legion. I'm still here in Ukraine. Now I'm working with Azov International Battalion. If you are interested in this, have any questions about this, you want to be a part of it, shoot me an email, linked in the description below, and we'll set up an interview, see if you're right for the team. Anyways, we've got CivDiv here. CivDiv, I believe, is in Syria now, but he's got some, he's still making some Ukraine content, and it says, "Why do I wear what I wear?" And I thought this would be interesting. It's a short little video, but thought it would be cool, so let's check it out.
I wear what I wear. I am known for having the most scuffed kit whenever I go to war. $9 airsoft vest, expired armor, kitchen scissors for my IFAC. But I would say the latest combat setup that I had for 2024 was the least scuffed I've ever had it. I knew in 2024, airsoft gear it wouldn't cut it. It wouldn't cut it. It was time to upgrade. So let's break it down what I wore as a drone operator on the Ukrainian front line. Let's go. Starting off, we got my rifle. I would always have it taped up with a light on the left side. That way I can activate it with my thumb. If you guys remember some of my older videos, you would understand why I have that. And I gotta say, it's pretty cool when I'm seeing the combat footage from Azov, from all different GoPros coming from Ukrainian soldiers that are now all rocking the flashlight taped to the end of the rifle. I don't know if it's because of me. Soldiers that are now all rocking the combat footage from Azov, from all different GoPros coming from Ukrainian soldiers that are now all rocking the flashlight taped to the end of the rifle. I don't know if it's because of me. I like to think I'm part of the reason. I know that a lot of the people that I instructed, I would give that advice, but that's pretty much how I ran it. A stock AK-74. The reason I went with AK-74 rather than all the other NATO weapons we had in our armory was because I'm used to it. It's what I always use in all the wars that I've been in. Even though I was training them for professionally, I prefer the AK. Now for the camouflage, it was given to me by this team. This team was amazing to me. They brought me on my first FPV mission. They're doing great work still to this day. We were able to raise a lot of money for them, and they're just doing tremendous work. One of the members of that team, we go way back. We knew each other from the start of the war, and he gave me his hand-me-down camis, which were awesome. It is the camouflage that everybody in my team runs, and it was very good. I don't know what to say. It was camouflage. And of course, in the colder months that I was out there, we had thermal layers. So I had this polyester, actually the same one I'm wearing right now, a shirt underneath to just keep a little bit more warm. Now for the big upgrade, I had level 4 ceramic plates, and these aren't hand-me-downs. They're not level 3s like I was wearing at the start of the war. These are shellback level 4 ceramics, and with those 2 front and back, I also got 2 side sappies level 4 from shellback. So it was a shellback kit. It was cool. And obviously for the helmet, you guys recognize it from the start of the war. Same one. It's just a standard army issued one from like 20 years ago. It works. It's bulky. I'm not wearing anything crazy. I'm not wearing a headset. I'm not wearing night vision. My buddies would let me use that whenever I needed it, but I don't know. I did the trick, but I'm not done with the armor yet. I also had a combat diaper. I don't know the exact term, but I had bought in about 15 of them, gave them all to Arnie back in the day, about a year and a half ago, so he could give it out to his team. And they're still floating around in some person's combat rig, but I kept one for myself for future operations, and I wore it all the time. And it was really cool. I would just clip it in on the back, and it was rolled up, kind of like a dump pouch. And whenever I needed it, like I'm getting ready for an infill or an exfil, or we're taking artillery a lot, and I just want that protection to my groin area and pelvis, I just unlatch it, bring it up from my groin, and yeah, it was good to go. And the reason I went with the combat diaper rather than just one of those flaps, those soft armor flaps, is because this is all-around protection. It's artillery, it's mortars. if I'm out there and it hits behind me, I've got no protection. It gives you that comfort in your mind that you aren't going to.
This is something I need to add to my kit, to be honest. Either one of those flaps or combat diaper. They, it might seem silly, and you haven't really seen many operators in previous conflicts use this, but no conflict is like this conflict in Ukraine. The amount of just sheer shrapnel flying around at any given moment during an engagement or an infill or an exfil is absurd. And not many people know this, but if you break your pelvis or you have an internal bleed near your pelvis, the pelvis bowl, that part, basically your hips, can hold the entire amount of your body's blood inside of it. So you could bleed out completely into your pelvic bowl. So you're bleeding out, but it's internal. Nobody would see any blood coming out of you, but you could completely bleed out into that pelvic bowl. So it's really, 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 and it bleeds like a mother effer if you have some penetrating wounds or you break it down there. So it's really important to keep that protected. It would just never at much risk in other conflicts. No more risk than really anywhere else, right? But now it is. You see, I know people personally who have lost testicles and private parts and stuff like that. So I don't know, really, really good idea. I need to add one of these to my kit.
Lose your junk whenever a mortar lands. You know what I mean? It's important for a man. And I know what you're thinking, combat diaper, it's gonna get in the way, you're gonna chafe. Somewhat, but I didn't chafe whenever I had it on. I was able to maintain all the mobility that I needed. As for the plate carrier, this was given by my team leader. I traded for one of them that was given to.
You're always going to sacrifice a little bit of mobility for more protection, right? That's kind of the trade-off. It has been since the beginning of armor, right? The beginning of armored combats from the medieval times, right? You have a full-blown medieval knight in all plate armor. He could barely move, but he's going to be a motherfucker to kill because he's got a lot of plate on. And the same principles apply here. Side plates limit a little bit of mobility. Actually, he mentioned he had level 4 side plates. I've never seen that in my life. That's really cool. My side plates are level 2, I believe. And then my front and back are those dome or turtle shell level 3 pluses. His are level 4. The level 4 ceramics are definitely the way to go. They're just very expensive. They're your premier, your top level body armor plates. But anyways, the trade-off has always been mobility versus protection, right? And this is the one conflict that I can say, in my opinion, my personal opinion, it's okay to give up some of that mobility for more protection just because of the amount of shrapnel and debris that's flying around at all times. They've got those armored collars. I've seen shoulder, full arm pads now, thigh pads. Honestly, go full juggernaut. If you got the funds and you have the ability to get this armor, do it.
Gifted to me. I don't know the brand of it. You could probably tell just by looking at it. Somebody in the comments can let you know, but it was a lot smaller than the one that I've been using before, especially when I was working as an instructor with Trident Defense Initiative. And of course, I have to have some sort of scuffed part of my kit. The side sappy pouches that I had were not made for sappy plates, so the plates were a lot smaller than the actual pouch. So I just filled up the room with extra socks. I don't know if that's scuffed or not. I think it's kind of ingenious, if I say so myself. And I wanted a smaller, sleeker plate carrier because we're just a drone operator. We're not going to be having to carry too much stuff. And for that reason, I've got...
Another good point. It depends on your job, right? If you're a drone operator, maybe you don't need the juggernaut armor. If you're storming trenches and assaults, maybe you want to consider having a little bit more armor.
Got 3 mag pouches in front. I've got a dump pouch on my left side, of course. Got my diaper in the back that's attached to the plate carrier. I've got a couple grenade pouches where I keep my M67s, 2 tourniquets, 1 on the strap, and then 1 that was near the back, just in case I had fallen face forward, they could quickly find that tourniquet. The big upgrade I'd say for the plate carrier since my previous operations and missions in different war zones was the dump pouch. Instead of just cutting off some random bag and putting it on there, I ended up getting a dump pouch. I spent the 20 bucks, I got one. And it paid off very well because once you unroll it, it's a huge pouch. And it came in handy when we were doing a drone recovery and we run in the middle field. Instead of trying to carry this Mavic in my hands because my dump pouch doesn't stretch or it's not big enough, I was able to put the entire Mavic with the propellers in there with plenty of extra room. And a small one, but I want to mention I also put some shoulder padding on the plate carrier, so that way for big movements, drone recovery or whatever, it didn't hurt as much. It wasn't going to chafe my traps. Now the biggest one that I recommend for everybody to have, unless somebody can tell me in the comments.
Hold on, dump pouch, huge. I was initially against a dump pouch because I thought it's just more kit that I probably won't end up using. Wrong. I used it for everything. I kept grenades in there. You could put extra mags in there. And if you're not using it, it rolls all the way up and on this little burrito. You Velcro strap it. You don't even notice it's there. And then when you do need it, it's amazing. You just rip the Velcro. It unrolls down. You got this huge pouch to put whatever you want. It's essential piece of kit.
That's why I shouldn't, but worked out there was the IFAC. The IFAC, I did not want to have too much bulk on my plate carrier. I like the sleek design where I could get into vehicles, get out quickly. So I want to put that IFAC somewhere on my waistline, but I hate running belts. I'm the only person I know that hates belts, but I think it's because I'm short and like the...
Never worn a battle belt, personally. I am also the only person that I know personally that does not run a battle belt on an operation. Again, personal preference. This, you could put a ton of shit on your belt, but especially in this conflict as an infantry soldier, you're just carrying so much shit at any given time that the addition of a battle belt just seemed like unnecessary to me. But personal preference on that one.
Plate carriers kind of run pretty low, so it's tough to have that belt. But I didn't want an IFAC, a big bulky IFAC, to get in the way of my workspace, like when I'm working and moving. So what I did with the IFAC this time was I was in a military shop. I was looking around for a small pouch that I could maybe put on my plate carrier, and I found this little side satchel, this side bag, which most soldiers would wear in the rear to carry documents, your passport or whatever. But I found that it could fit most of the stuff that I need for an IFAC. Some chest seals, some trauma scissors, some gauze. I was able to fit it. It was tight, but I was able to fit everything I needed, including a combat pill pack. The best part about this is not only that it's off of my workspace, but it's easily identifiable and accessible to everybody in my team. It simplified everything. There's so many different IFACs.
Not in the dark. It's not. Unfortunately, that I've got to disagree with our boy CivDiv here. The legend that he is and the amount of experience that he has trumps mine tenfold. Okay, so don't get me wrong here, but as a certified combat medic here in Ukraine, having a nice IFAC with real good quality equipment, good quality gear, tourniquets, chest seals, needle Ds, trauma scissors, all that stuff is paramount in my opinion. And one thing to consider is oftentimes if you're running up on a casualty that's wounded, you're not pulling shit out of your own IFAC to help this guy. You're pulling shit out of his IFAC to help him, right? That's why he carries an IFAC individual. So if I'm running up on CivDiv, it's in the middle of the night and he's unconscious, right? And he's got a TBI or whatever it is. I'm running up on CivDiv and I'm like, dude, where's your fucking IFAC? It's not where everybody else's is. It's not, what I'm used to an IFAC looking like. This big square cube like bag. So I gotta disagree a little bit with them on that. But again, if you're a drone operator, you're working with a small team, they all know where your stuff is, it's probably not that big of a deal.
I don't know if you guys have shot for IFACs before, but there's some that are only Velcro, there's some that are clipped in 3 different places and then Velcroed, and some that are just clipped in, and some that are just literally a part of the plate carrier. This one, you unclip it from my belt and you can have it in front of your hands. So that's what I did. I think it's a really smart idea. I could have it in the back. That's usually where I rocked it. And then I'd have it attached by a carabiner. And then if I'm getting into something, I just take that carabiner off. So that way, even if it's attached, I can still flip it around to me and have complete access. I love it. I think the IFAC was the best upgrade that I did. And of course, you can't be a soldier without boots. So I did have boots. These are the same ones that I had at the start of the war. Don't judge me, it's free. It had a zipper. The zipper broke, just like all of them do within the first 6 months, but it actually made it kind of nice because if I'm just doing a quick run outside to grab a drone or take off a drone, I don't need to zip everything up or unlace boots. I can just kind of put my feet in there and Try not to roll my ankle. The only upgrade I did with the boots was I replaced the shoelaces that they come with 550 cord for better strength. And if I need that ankle support, yeah, the zipper's broken, but I could just tie around the 550 cord. I made it really long so I could tie it around, and I would wear 2 pairs of socks underneath because it was a little bit bigger than I needed, but that also made it a lot better.
CivDiv's crazy, dude. He is he is hilarious. I would not recommend wearing boots that have a broken zipper, or boots that in a tight spot and you need your boots to be tight, that you've got to do some jerry rigging and wrap this 550 cord around your ankle. It worked for him. That's all that matters, right? I couldn't recommend it personally. That is hilarious, though. Also, I've made the mistake in winter out here wearing multiple pairs of socks on an operation. Fucked my feet up, dude, so bad, because on one of my first missions, my feet were so cold. I thought, screw that, I'm gonna wear multiple pairs of socks. My boots are a little bit big, I can fit it. Man, it hurt to walk. It messed them up. I'd rather my feet have been, and they still got cold, right? So if you're gonna, in my opinion, again, if you're gonna put anything into your boot rather than extra pairs of socks, put a plastic bag around your the socks that you already have, hopefully thermal. Put a plastic bag around it just to keep water away from your socks, but try to keep as much shit out of your boot as possible. Just one pair of good quality socks.
For my blisters that I was trying to not get. They're since gone. I lost them off a rotation at a party. Now for my night vision capabilities, my team. I could buy some, but like, we don't need night vision for everybody, to be honest. So whenever I need to go and recover a drone or go out there to go and do something at nighttime, my buddies would lend me their night vision with their helmet, because we don't need 4 people outside. It'd only be 2 at a time. My friends are cool. But what I did have, in case of emergencies, I would just wear my headlamp around my neck. So just place there, quick red lens, and do what I need to do, and then get out of there. Now, our rotations are generally a week long, so you need to have a lot of gear. So what did I bring that I would then place inside our blindage, our bunker? Well, I would have a main pack, which was about this tall on me. I mean, it was huge. And inside that, I have an assault pack, which has a lot of the essentials and kind of survival gear in case I can't bring my main pack if I get overran or whatever it is. So in my main pack, I would keep 4 extra magazines. Why are we bringing 8? Because we're drone operators? Well, you know how the war is. Things change. The Russians will get 500 meters away, and you want to be prepared. Or maybe there's a lot of drones in the sky, you want to shoot them down. You know, there's a lot of reasons to bring extra ammunition. And added on to the ammunition, we also brought 2 frag grenades each. I would carry a lot of them on my person, but if we know that they're not very close, I would just keep them in my main pack. So I bring the usual stuff. I bring extra batteries for my headlamp, GoPro gear, cords, chargers, power banks, a lot of food, a week's worth of food. And what did that food consist of? Usually MREs, Ukrainian MREs, as well as monsters, Zins. Yeah, Zins are part of my diet at this point. I would go through a can a day. So I bring like 10 cans, a lot of ramen, and also my team leader, he was very big on the idea that we bring at least a day or 2 worth of water in our packs, just in case there's no water there or whatever it is. Maybe we need to move. Yeah, we would keep about 2 liters of water inside our bag as well. I bring gloves for picking up the drone if there's a bad pilot in the area and I gotta go and pick it up from the sky. Extra thermal layers, some bug spray as well. There's a lot of ticks, a lot of mosquitoes. These big black bugs, I don't even know what they were, but they're flying around. I like to kill them, so brought bug spray, some wet wipes, tissues, because I'm allergic to everything, grass, and of course a Leatherman. I'm a big believer in Leatherman, even though they break me every single time. I'm just bad to them though. And that's about it. That is what I wore as a...
All solid stuff. He was on longer operations than I was on. The longest I was on for 48 hours. He's spending a week out there. But I was just in basically a little hole in the ground. It was not a bondage. We did not have bunk beds or power or anything like that. We couldn't even light trench candles. We were so close to the enemy. So a little bit different, right? I only brought my day pack. He brought that big pack and then his day pack, and my day pack was almost exactly what he had in his. Very similar stuff.
A drone operator in the Ukrainian front line. So I hope you guys learned something, you know. I changed up my kit a little bit for this one, and as you can see, I kept a lot of the same stuff that I would use when I was doing frontline roles, as well as changed up some things for upgrades, and I think that was very valuable. Now, what would I change in the future? I think that maybe I would invest in night vision. Night vision is really important. At least 1 tube, and definitely some better boots. Yeah, I'd probably be good with that. Anyway, hope you learned something. The team I was with is still out there doing amazing work, If you want to go and support them, PayPal will be in the description. I'm also selling shirts. Some of those proceeds go to them. Take a look at that if you want to support us. And
Dude, one day we're gonna have this many members. Mark my words, man. Mark my words. One more thing I want to add, just to piggyback off of what he said, night vision, dude. It's so dark. It's like a darkness that you probably haven't expected too much in your life, unless you've gone camping and you've been really, really far away from city lights, to where you can't even see city lights in the background, to where it's pitch black. Everything's dark. You can't see your hand in front of your face, dark. Okay, so for me, that was new. Growing up in Las Vegas and Nevada and then to Texas, there was always some kind of a town or city nearby. Having that absolute darkness was new to me. So, dude, I was falling and tripping and, falling down and jamming my fucking AK barrel into the mud, and I couldn't see anything. Night vision, night vision, night vision, and thermal if you can afford it. And if you can't, figure out how to afford it. Night vision and thermal for sure. CivDiv, follow my man right here. This guy is the shit. We wish him luck over there in Syria. Stay safe, brother, and do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Oh, by the way, we hit 5,000 subs before the end of the year. That was the goal. We're at 5,200. Thank you, guys. Thank you. If you're curious about Azov, shoot me an email and we'll talk about it. I love you guys. See you in the next video.